Hey everyone, welcome back to Live Bold and Boss Up podcast.
We are super excited to chat today. It's going to be very laid back because we went to the Bucs game last night. So we got back late. So we're a little, it's Monday. So you know how that is anyways.
Tired.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all good. We had a blast.
It was a very exciting game.
It was.
For many reasons. We took some clients there, so got to meet them. They were in town, which was great.
So fun.
But then also, can we talk about Tom Brady's record-breaking pass?
Right? His 600th touchdown pass that just happened at the Bucs Bears game. We destroyed the Bears, first of all.
The Bears.
And then he throws his 600th touchdown pass. That's amazing. But then it's so funny because the touchdown pass was to Mike Evans, and he always, out of just the generosity, right, and kindness of his heart, he always gives the ball to one of the fans. And he ends up giving the ball away, I think, before he realized that it was Tom's 600th.
Right.
Oopsie. And I have to give a shout out to Tim Jarocki for going over to the fan and spending it had to have been like 3 minutes, right? He was over there talking to him for a good 3 minutes, trying to negotiate the ball back.
Right.
And he was successful.
How
do you get that back? It's like a $500,000 ball.
Right. Those are some excellent negotiating skills, Tim.
Yeah. We feel like we should take this time and talk about negotiating skills.
Right. And we've talked about this before in episode 8 with Clint Babcock. He wrote the book Negotiating from the Inside Out, which is great. Everyone should check it out if you haven't already. So we wanted to talk about some negotiating skills, and too bad Tim's not on here with us today to share his story, but you can check it out. It was like going viral on TikTok and Today's Show. It was on.
I love it. TikTok was like, hey, can I have that $500,000 ball? Great. Thanks. Here's a handshake. So cute. Some of the memes that were going on.
Which the fan did get more than a handshake.
He did. He will be getting, rewarded for that, of course.
And it's a great story to tell.
It is great. So negotiating, what do we have to remember? There's a handful of things that you want to come to the table, with in your mind, just kind of knowing how to negotiate, right? How to get to really, ultimately, it's a win-win situation. Everyone needs to feel like they're walking away with something positive.
Absolutely. And I think in order, first of all, to do that, you have to establish that relationship. It has to be a trusting relationship and one where there's mutual respect, in both parties. So I think that's the first part.
Right. Yeah. Mutual respect. So I'm sure when Tim went up to the fan, he was like, making sure, is that football? Okay, great. Let's have a talk. So going into the conversation, establishing a relationship, and meaning, I guess have that small talk, right? Kind of level set.
Right. And it's probably the way that Tim approached him, which made it much easier and made the fan want to hand the ball back, not approaching him in like an aggressive way, like we need that ball back, or, it's establishing like a trusting relationship. Like, hey guy, congratulations on, this ball. Unfortunately, we're going to need it back. But yeah, the relationship and how you approach the other person, it has to be with respect.
Right. Exactly. And you touched on it a little bit there, like choosing honey over vinegar, so to speak, right? Like, you have to bring your manners to the table. You can't just demand what you need. You have to go in and understand that other person needs something too. And, you have to kind of make sure that you're not, being bossy or, being annoying. Like no one wants to work with you if you're going to be kind of selfish and not giving as well.
Right. What are you going to get out of the negotiation? What are you going to get out of the deal? What am I going to get out of the deal? We want a win-win. We want something sweet, like honey for everybody.
Ice cream. I don't know why I thought of that. You said sweet
Sweet
ice cream. I don't know.
Yeah. So win-win has to be a win-win.
Yeah. One of the things that we researched, right? It was like knowing that someone has their, like, they have an inner adult and then an inner child, like, right? Like everybody, has like this higher level self, this business self, but then everybody has this like fun loving self too.
Mhm.
And, you want to get to the table and you want to understand, okay, I can't leave unless I have at least this.
Mhm.
So knowing what your bottom line is, like when Tim went up to the fan, he was like, okay, I know my bottom line is I need to leave right now with this ball in my hand.
Mhm.
So what do I have to do? What do I have to talk with him about? Share with him? What can I propose?
Mhm. Acting like an adult, because it's probably so easy to let that inner child come out. And if the fan were to have said like, no, like to just react in a way where you let your emotions take over.
Yeah. Is that what inner child would mean too? Like,
Yeah.
just
like,
kind of being selfish or stubborn or
Mhm.
like a child, like,
right.
just
Not seeing the bigger picture. You're
Mhm.
not seeing like the real focus of the problem, and you act immature.
Yeah.
You act out of your feelings.
Right.
Emotional intelligence probably kicks in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, once you are in talks or, negotiating, you're trying to figure out a win-win, you're acting like an adult out of respect, then, in closing the deal, you have to, have good follow-up skills. You have to, state the outcome
Right.
that you want.
Right.
So that way it's understood.
Mhm.
You're not just assuming, what
Mhm.
assuming does.
Yeah. Don't assume. That's terrible.
And then don't push it. Like if they're uncomfortable with it, then maybe they need some time.
Right.
Not in the ball case.
Yeah. In the ball case, not that. No. Yeah.
But when negotiating a deal, they might just need some time to, mull it over, think about it, maybe come up with a different approach if they're not comfortable with what you recommended.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to them.
Yeah. Things might need to be added in. It was interesting because I, of course, was picking Tim's brain, and I loved everyone got the shot of him shaking hands at the end, right? You need some sort of like commitment at the end, right? Whether it's, whatever you're doing, if it's a signed contract or whatever, but shaking hands, I think is still going to be the ultimate. Okay, we agree. That's what we're going to stick to, a gentleman's agreement, if you will, or ladies' agreement.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I liked the handshake at the end.
Yeah.
Tim showed his respect and the fan did the same. I was like, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Tim went over and got a ball right away and gave him a different ball so he could hold something in the meantime. So he did leave with something, and he's going to get a lot more.
Right. No, that's exciting.
Yeah. That was so cool. I don't think that anyone in the stands knew at that very moment what that ball was, because it took everyone, even Mike, a minute to realize what happened.
Right. Tim had to think quick.
Yeah.
Like
he was over there
right.
in an instant.
Right. No, good job, Timmy. But those are some key things to think about when you're negotiating, just some things to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, the relationship. Establish that trusting, honest relationship. Yeah.
I think going quick and I don't know what your bottom line is. I feel like that was huge for me, just knowing your bottom line and what you have to get out of it and what you're willing to give up for that.
Right. What are you willing to walk away with or from?
So much fun. Yes. Oh my gosh. Love it. Well, if you guys need more information on negotiations, like Steph said in the beginning, go to episode 8 with Clint Babcock, and he really dives into negotiating with his book, Negotiating from the Inside Out. We really dove into it. I know it's an old episode, but it's still really good, still really effective. So go back and take a listen.
Mm-hmm. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars.
Yes, please.
And until next
Back
time.
up your girls and live bold and boss up.